Hello.
Here we go. Hello. All right. So we are on a special call today. I am here with someone that I really enjoy the company with, and I think you guys are gonna love her. I'm gonna let her introduce herself so you guys get to know Deb.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me today. Um, so my name's Deb Kizilkin, and I'm the owner of Deb K Hypnosis and Wellness. And I am a hypnotist. And one of the things I specialize in is working with people wanting to achieve their goal, be it losing weight, motivation to stay on track, and many, many things.
Mhm.
It's, following that track of what you want in your life.
Awesome. Very good. Yes. So I know Deb. She works with some of my clients as well. She helps them in those aspects, which we're gonna get into detail a little bit here. I had some questions that were sent to my mailbox about hypnosis. Some people are curious about it, how it can help them, and what aspects. So we're gonna dive into a little bit into that. I think it's a great holistic approach, something else that you can incorporate into your life just as a helper, right? Why not try things that we might not know that can be so beneficial for us? So,
Right.
Deb, I'm going to say there's some questions that came up. So, can you summarize for us how can hypnosis have help someone who is trying to lose weight?
So the clients that I see have been on yo-yo diets. Um, they've done well and then they take a step back. And so we're looking at what is food to them. What is it? Is it a reward? Is it something that fills up an emotional need that they have that they're using the food for? So there's a lot of different things that we dive deep to let go of those limited beliefs and the old habits that they may have had around food, even around exercise and those type of things. Yep.
Mhm. Yes, it's crazy sometimes, and also to like sometimes they face roadblocks that they can't surpass, right? And it's like, why can't I let go of certain behaviors that I have? Why is it that, why is it that I always go back to that comfort thing, or maybe the avoidance of, like you said, the resistance to maybe exercise? Why is it, right? So I think hypnosis can definitely help pass those things, those limited beliefs, and kind of figured out why it is that, you have those kind of behaviors, why you tend to go back to those things. What are your thoughts?
So generally I talk with people either on the phone or Zoom as an intake to see if the hypnosis is a good match, if them and myself are a good match to work together. Um, and the three questions they generally ask first is what does it feel like to be hypnotized? And so I talk to them that it's a natural trance state that we're in and out of every day.
Hmm.
Driving down to the stop sign, and you don't even remember driving the last few miles. That's road hypnosis. Daydreaming, watching a movie and really being involved in it. You're reacting to it. You may be laughing, crying, but it's really just a visual. It's not happening. In hypnosis, I'm creating a visual. I'm creating what you want, looking in the mirror and seeing yourself putting on that outfit that has been in the back of your closet or something new, feeling wonderful, feeling beautiful, feeling that motivation and that drive to want to feel your best. Um, so when you can visualize it at a cellular level, you can create it. And the other question they ask is, can I be hypnotized? And that is a really great question because we all can be hypnotized. Like I said, we're in and out of it all day long. And can I get stuck in hypnosis? No. That's a good movie though. There's movies out there about that, but no. And you cannot even be hypnotized if you don't want to be. So if you think about meditation, if you've ever done meditation, that's how it kind of feels like.
Hmm.
You just feel really mellow. You feel terrific when you leave. Even if we're working on underlining issues of why they crave a certain food or a
Mm-hmm.
particular time of day is very
Mm-hmm.
important because it adds to their program, which is always individualized because everyone has different challenges.
Right.
So someone finds himself that they want to eat at 3 o'clock every day. Did they come home from school to an empty house at 3 o'clock? And that was a cover for that emotion,
Yeah.
that it made them feel comfortable for a
Yeah.
moment. And so is that something that they continue on when they feel, what's the emotion under the eating?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
So is it boredom? Is it I want connection? Is it I'm feeling lonely? Is it, so in my particular thing, we talk about intermittent fasting, eating within the 8 hours, because it gives them time when they're not eating to work on those emotions.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They'll lose weight
Mm-hmm.
also, and it's a good boost to their metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can do it, different health reasons or whatever, and that's fine too. And you have some great programs
Yeah.
and things that help people that want more structure. They feel like
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of floating around and don't know, and they really need that more education, more
Yeah.
structure, more accountability. And that's great how, we could work together with our clients. Um, but yeah, those emotional components. But one of the stories I tell when I do a lecture about hypnosis, just to give an idea about beliefs that we pick up when we're young,
Mm.
is the mom that's in her kitchen cooking with her daughter, and she's making a ham, and she cuts off one end and she cuts off the other end and puts it in the pan. And the daughter says, "Why do you cut the two ends off when you cook a ham?" She said, "Oh, I don't know. Go ask grandma in the other room." So she goes and she asks her grandmother, "When you make a ham, why do you cut that one end off, the other end off?" She said, "Because I never had a big enough pan."
Mhm. Mm.
And so it goes
Yes.
generation
You do what you
question,
know. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So even we grew up on sandwiches, hoagies, subs, but does that work for us?
Right.
We get to make the change,
Yes,
which is so
absolutely.
powerful.
Absolutely. And it's funny you bring that up because I often now I expose more of my daughters and the way that I change, not that I change, the way that I apply their diet and everything else. I care about how they are going to grow from this point forward. And it should be that way. We shouldn't just wait until they're teenagers to say, oh, now you develop healthy habits,
Right,
From the
right,
get-go, I teach them, both of them, my daughters, like, hey, this is how you eat this way. I want you to have energy to do this X, Y, and Z. You're eating protein because I want you to grow your muscles. I want them to have the knowledge of those words now so they are natural. They're not something else that they have to learn when they are adults. Because, like just like you said, if your parents didn't know,
right,
it's not their fault that they didn't know either,
right, right,
until you question and like, okay, let's maybe take a different approach to things. And it's okay. It's
right.
okay to learn something new. And
Exactly.
and it's okay to have those little blocks and then we pass them and we move forward. It's a learning experience. I think if we just stay the same, right, and just believing this is it, there's so much more than just that limited belief.
Right. So that's where our power is, because we may have had influences maybe in our family, in our school, in our religion, and whatever it was. But as an adult, we get to say, but is that true for me?
Yeah.
And you come off of living autopilot,
Mm-hmm.
of just going, and sometimes we just don't know we are doing that
Yeah.
until we're able to talk about the habits. Oh, you always have dessert after dinner, right? That's it's just habits that we can change into healthy habits
Yes.
because we decide that that doesn't work for us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Exactly. And I think it's important as soon as you can do those changes, as soon as you can make those changes, I think that's when you have kids, you have that power to see that, or your grandkids, whatever it is, there's that turning point that you see and you're like, oh, it stems in childhood majority of the time. Like it's everything that I've learned, right? Okay.
well, even women that I've worked with that, their husband, it, she's losing weight, and he has conflict with that. While he wants to support her, people around you when you're losing weight will have the habit of self-reflecting and saying, oh, well, if they can do it and I'm not doing it, what does that mean about me? So that's their own conflict.
Yeah.
Do you, be you,
Exactly.
and it
Exactly.
has it has a ripple effect in a good way
In a
also,
good
because
way.
you don't even have to tell your husband, oh, you should just do
Correct.
you, and you're
Exactly.
all of a sudden have more energy and you want to go for walks, and he might be like,
A
oh,
domino effect.
I want to do that. What are you eating?
Yes,
Oh, I'll try it. But sometimes it
absolutely.
takes time because change can feel scary for people, and even
Yes.
people around us when they see
Yes.
us doing different things. We're not going through the drive-through at McDonald's and this and that. Um, it throws people off change. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Change
No.
is good.
Exactly, and it
Yeah.
takes time.
Yes,
It takes time, and it's funny because I love what I'm doing, I love coaching women now and being around different ages and different backgrounds and everything else, and everyone, that comes to me, they are completely open to, like, a good change, and I think sometimes they are, either surprised by how rapidly they can see the difference in the way they feel, but then they are also like, okay, it's actually going to take longer than I thought. So it's
right,
both reactions because yes, you see the change, but you also see that it's depends on you. It's all pretty much on you. You have to do the work and you're going to face these roadblocks, but they're all good. Like you said, it's all good. It's all about growing, just like your kids are growing.
right,
Every year is something different. Same thing
right.
for us.
Right. And with every block, every challenge, and you overcome it,
Yes.
you're like, oh, and it
Powerful.
builds the momentum of
It's
more of what you can achieve.
powerful. It's
And
powerful.
the mental aspect can happen extremely quick with hypnosis
I agree.
because you're changing your dialogue, you're changing your self-talk. And when you start changing that, because if you're eating well, but you're like, oh, why can they eat that and I can't? And you feel deprived. We're going to catch that in hypnosis and we're going to reframe that. I'm doing the best for me. I feel
Yes.
terrific. I love being healthy instead of what anyone else is doing. And that's just an
Exactly.
example. But a lot of times
Exactly.
we're looking at what's the self-talk, because that's the defeating language that keeps you
Exactly.
stuck, right?
And it's so funny you saying that because I always teach the way that I train, that I coach, and I do tell them, I say, listen, the exercise portion of it, it's your time. So that is a time you are taking out of your day to invest on yourself. So it's just like it's not a ritual, but it's kind of like it's that time for yourself. So take that time to really get, mind and muscle connection. You are doing something good for your body. So it is that self-care. You are doing this for you. So I really try to give that mindset, yes, it's good. It's
Right.
great. Yep.
It's almost as if it's a reward. I'm
Yes.
rewarding myself
Yes.
with good
Mhm.
health.
Mhm.
And these are the things I'm doing.
Exactly.
Um, and other people, you're giving permission to other people to do the
I feel the
same,
same. Mhm.
right? To
Let it go. Yeah.
not
Mhm.
be giving, giving, giving until emptiness, but giving from a place of overfill, of love and care,
Exactly.
because you've been giving it to yourself.
Yep.
Um, And yeah, that's the trickle effect too. Other people will start, you're giving them permission. You're saying it's
Mhm.
okay. Take
Yes.
care of yourself, to have downtime, to do exercise, to pick good foods,
Mhm, mhm,
right?
exactly. Yes, because a lot of times it's seen because you do face that when you change certain things and now it's like, "Oh, you are becoming that person." Yes, I am, and it's okay. You can be too, and it's fine to love yourself, to feel
Right,
great. It's not, "Oh, so it's too vain." No, it's not vain. It's not vanity only.
right,
You know?
right.
It's
Well, who doesn't
self-love.
want who doesn't want to look their best and feel their best,
Yes.
right? And
Absolutely.
whatever that is for you,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
being your best self.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
It's really is. It's not just everybody has the different idea of their best self. And it's not a cookie cutter like, oh, you have to look this way. No, it's the
right.
way that you love because
Yeah,
you should be your best cheerleader when you see yourself in the mirror in that morning, right? And that's
right.
it. It's not that we wake up beautiful every day. I know sometimes you got to put yourself together.
Yeah,
But at that time, you're like, all right, I feel great,
right,
and that's it.
right. It's an inside job that
Yes.
that vibrates onto the outside. Yep.
Yes. For sure. Very good. All right, let me see. I think you answered so many of the questions that I had here. Let's see. Yeah, so how it can be helpful if implemented with a plan, right? And a
Right.
nutrition and the exercise portion. How would you tie someone in this? Say someone comes to you, say, I'm working with Fabiola, for example, and I have this down, but I'm still lacking a little bit of motivation. What would be the approach that you would be working with someone like that?
So I would ask them, what do you think is your challenge with motivation?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would probably rattle off a couple of things. And I would say, and we would go in deeper about, well, why is that important for you? Or,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's setting priorities. Sometimes it's been instilled as a guilt
Mm-hmm.
when you're
Mm-hmm.
spending. So we're going to work on all that. And especially for women who are raised to be caregivers, right? We have that wonderful natural nurturing aspect of ourselves, and we need to do it to ourselves too.
Yes.
And so usually when they're procrastinating, um, we're looking underneath what
Mm-hmm.
is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because there's always something there,
Yes, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
And it's usually something that has been um in our psychic for a long time. So if you think about an iceberg, right? The
Mm-hmm.
very tip is the conscious mind, the critical mind, the stuff we know right there. The whole base of the iceberg is our subconscious mind. That's where all our feelings, our habits, our history, everything is there. So in hypnosis, we're getting our mind to go calm that critical mind, the self talk, and going into the subconscious mind, and
Mm-hmm.
we're planting new seeds of, I love to be healthy, it feels good, I love putting on clothes and moving with ease in my body. We're planting those seeds based on what they want, and we're plucking the weeds,
Mm-hmm.
those things that became autopilot that aren't working for them anymore, and they want to let it go.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
I love the approach because I truly believe in it. I think we listen to so much when we are in a state like we really need to learn to listen to our subconscious, like you say, let that part of our brain that's there, right? That's sometimes undiscovered because everything else that's covering in there. And when
right.
you really see it, for what it is, and those feelings are inside of you, and you are saying, yes,
Yes.
yes, you can do it. That's powerful.
Right.
It's powerful. And just to let go of the guilt or whatever the block is that's impeding you to get there. That is amazing. I've experienced this in many different areas. And I think it can be extremely useful for someone who's trying to accomplish, to get back on their fitness journey and just to make this their lifestyle, right? Not something that's a
Right.
quick fix.
And even sports performance hypnosis. Tiger Wood has used it. He's come out and said he's used it so that he could visualize that hole in one, that he could visualize it. And so when he went to do it, it
Yeah,
was automatic now.
many
Michael
athletes
Jordan.
do it. Many athletes.
Michael Jordan too
Yeah.
came out and talked about hypnosis. He said, I've thrown that basket so many times that
Mhm.
it just seems
Mhm.
so natural, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, it's a wonderful thing. You feel great. And sometimes it even ripples out to making other changes in your life, be it, okay, I want to stop smoking too, and or I want to work on when I get anxious or anxiety, or
Yes.
or we even talk about alcohol, how it plays in a way of not getting good sleep, waking up tired, that you lose your motivation to do things.
Mhm.
The extra calories, the extra food you eat when you have a drink. So there's many aspects to being healthy.
Mhm. Yeah, it's funny because sometimes, like when we talk about, I think it will be extremely helpful for someone that's maybe, knowing what to eat and trying to really take on the approach that, like I do with my clients. Is like, listen, you're going to just learn that you can have a little bit of everything. You just gotta know the amount that you eat, when to eat. Not when to eat, but the amount. We need to take into account what we're doing, right? So
Right,
sometimes we just have to really implement certain things. And once they learn that, they know that's not like a restriction thing, but it's more so you're planning and then you're knowing, you're making choices. And then I think by you planting those things in your subconscious, by really understanding, it's like, "Oh, I have a choice. It's not
yes,
like I can't. I have a choice. Maybe if I do have this today, I won't have that tomorrow." You know?
right, right,
So, it's different now. You have that understanding in your subconscious that before maybe you had completely the opposite idea, and now you have a different belief because you understand it from a different aspect, right? So
right.
that can be very helpful.
I think one of the parts of the yo-yo dieting was they were so restricted that
Yes.
people were like, okay, I'll do this for a certain amount of
Yes.
time until I can go eat cake again and do this. And
It
that's how it got.
triples back.
It's too restricted, and you're in the subconscious mind thinking, "I'm gonna lose the weight, but I wanna be able to go back to where I was," and eating, but you also go back in your weight, right?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Exactly. Like I have sometimes that people, when they understand that they can have a little bit of everything, it's not the restricting. I have clients that say, my kids now see a different mom in that sense because when I used to do the restrictive diets, I was just like doing keto or whatever. Like I was restricting my food. I was only eating some kind of weird food. My kids would be like, "Oh, this is strange. Like, why are you so miserable? You can't even
Yeah,
go to." But now when I explain that's not like that, it's more so you make some choices and you understand that this is your lifestyle. And sometimes you can have both worlds. It's all about planning. They're like, I can see it now why it makes sense that everyone can do it. It's not just one person doing it. We can all adhere to it. And
right,
that
right,
changes everything. That completely changes everything. It's not just a 3-month thing. It's not just like
right, right.
for sure. All right, Deb. And where can we find you?
So I'm on Route 20 in Sturbridge. I have an office there. I also do Zoom sessions for people that are farther away or can't get out or time restricted, need to do Zoom. You just need to have a quiet place in your home, and it's doable.
Awesome. Very good. I'm going to put all the information also when I posted this on here on my Facebook so everyone can follow you and they can find your website and see where to go from there.
Yes, and on my website, debkhypnosis.com, there's a schedule in there and you can set up a free 30-minute consultation.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Deb, for answering so many questions and giving us so much insight of this amazing. I love talking to you about hypnosis, and I appreciate the time that you took for doing this with us.
Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate how you support the clients I send you to and the clients you have,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you're part of that pie that helps support them in the best way.
Absolutely. Thank
To
you
good
so
health.
much. Yes. Absolutely. Teamwork, right? And also just a little bit of everything. We're trying to give you as much support as possible so you're successful in your journey. All
All right. Take care.
right, Deb. Yeah.